Hey, Phantomaniacs, welcome to my top 10 of 2023. As I did last year, let me try to explain a little bit how I arrive at a top 10. It's not really about like, is this the best executed figure all year long? Does it have multiple points of articulation and thousands of accessories? And does it take pretty pictures? It's about how much joy does this figure bring me when I walk past it? Uh, how well executed is it for what it is supposed to be? Whether it is a 5 points of articulation Run DMC figure or a 8-inch tall soft goods retro style Mego-ish figure. Like, comparing those two things is impossible because they're each trying to accomplish a completely different thing. So at the end of the day, I just have to use my own personal gauges of frustration versus joy. And sometimes a figure is zero frustration because it's exactly what the manufacturer intended it to be. And sometimes it just doesn't hit the mark. All 10 of these figures that I'm getting ready to talk about really hit the mark, accomplished exactly what I think the manufacturer was trying to accomplish, and bring me joy. They're all fantastic figures that I had a great time reviewing. That every time, like I said, every time I walk by the shelf, they make me happy and they make me marvel at, my gosh, these were executed perfectly, in my opinion, for what they are. So this isn't about, there is no international standard for what makes a great action figure. What makes a great action figure to you may be completely different from what makes a great action figure to me. And that's why toy collecting is so awesome, is because you can have people out there who sit next to their Kenner 5 point of articulation original Star Wars line, and it brings them all the joy in the world, and that's all they'll ever need. And then you've got other folks who have their massive Hot Toys collection, and that's what they want out of figures. It's all different, and it's all different to different people. And the fun thing about watching somebody who has different aesthetic tastes from your own, different expectations from their action figures than your own, is sometimes you can develop an appreciation for something a little different or something a little outside of your normal realm of preferences. But really, the point of this video and the point of collecting is joy. To share that joy, to spread that joy, and again, maybe to point out something that somebody didn't know about or hadn't noticed or had never thought of. Like, oh, hey, this thing is really cool and I didn't know it existed. Now, there's not going to be a ton of those on this list because at the end of the day, mass market, well, and online collecting is just where everything is at. Everything is very, very accessible for the most part. Now, if you want to talk to my buddy Polly at Ultra Pop in Louisville, go check that store out. It's incredible. His taste in toys is very different. And there are some aspects of what he likes, the designer vinyl stuff, that's bleeding into me a little bit. I'm dying to buy a very specific toy right now, and I've put it in a cart a couple of times and then taken it back out. That designer vinyl is a whole other rabbit hole that I'm just not ready to go down quite yet. But these 10 figures, and I specify action figures, I'm not talking about toys because there just aren't as many toys that I collect as I used to. Obviously, top toy of the year is the G.I. Joe Classified Series Hiss Tank, but there is some other good stuff out there. It's just easier to make a list of 10 action figures because the industry has moved on from the days of G.I. Joe and Star Wars being lines of vehicles that had figures to go with them. Now it's all about the figures, and that's what this top 10 list is. All about the figures. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things. I'll say it again at the end of the video. Number 10, the very nice, very evil Danhausen, the AEW ringside exclusive by Jazzwares. Incredible cape. great soft goods and a wire armature in the cape. The Velcro doesn't work very well on the collar, but this is the most toyetic Danhausen figure. Look, it's even got the yellow lace stitching on the Doc Martens. Does not have the tag in the back, but that's okay. I mean, we can't get too far into copyright material. But just this is an incredibly toyetic figure. It's my favorite AEW figure. I don't know that it's my favorite Danhausen figure because this one, so this isn't as good a figure, but this is like default Danhausen. This is how you see him like most times on AEW or behind the scenes in Danhausen videos when he's going to toy stores and stuff. Like, this is the Danhausen figure I wanted once I became a fan of Danhausen. But I mean, look, come on. Clearly, this one is a better action figure. And then possibly the actual best Danhausen is the one from Zombie Sailor Toys Heels and Faces. Now you see the wear on his cape here. That is intentional. Like, that's supposed to be that way. Incredible soft goods cape. Again, with a wire armature. This is my favorite Danhausen, but this one didn't come out this year. This figure is absolutely amazing. This is the one I'll get signed if I ever meet Danhausen. But number 10 in our list, the very nice, very evil Danhausen. Still available, by the way, from Ringside Collectibles. I highly recommend it. Number 9, the Batman 1989 Dynamic Action Heroes DAH-032 Joker by Beast Kingdom. Look, I'd be lying if I said that this was a size of figure that I want. This doesn't go with anything. But I have been wanting a Jack Nicholson Joker like this since 1989. It's a beautifully done figure. The Batman that goes with it tops out at okay, but you gotta have a Batman to go with this, and that's the only one that's in this scale. I really do love this figure. Could it be better? For sure. But did it fulfill a lifelong or a since 1989 toy need that I have had? Yes, it absolutely did. It's fully articulated. I'm not going to mess around with it because I like the way it's posed, but still available. It's been discounted heavily a few places, so keep an eye out for that. Amazon, I think Entertainment Earth had it down to like $45 at one point. Well worth that. Just the detail. It comes with tons and tons of accessories. It's essentially a larger version of a Mezco 112 collective figure, but just not executed quite as well, which is saying something, because I mean, look, this thing is beautiful. It really is. It's a great figure, and again, makes me so happy every time I look at it. And then it brings me down a little bit when I look at the Batman next to it. But I love this figure. Look, I will buy every Jack Nicholson Joker that gets made that's not some like high-end, Hot Toys type thing. Hopefully we've got more coming. If McFarlane does one, look, it won't be as good as this one, but it'll be more a more doable version. You know what I mean? So anyway, love this figure. Number 9 of 2023. Number 8. So this, look, I think we were all excited about this one before it came out. It just looked like it was going to be awesome. Scrap Iron, not necessarily one of my favorite Joe characters. I always dug the figure, but his rig that came with the original figure was really the feature, and Hasbro went nuts, updating, upgrading, making this feel like just a more awesome, playable, toyetic version. This came with a ton of blast effects I don't have in front of me right now. Lots of accessories with this one. This is in the figure and pet price point. But just look at all the detail here. This is beautiful, but then Scrap Iron himself, who is, the star of the show, Cobra's heavy weapons expert, armor, whatever. Uh, they really took the original design and were faithful to it while upgrading it massively. And then went the extra like 10 miles, not even the extra mile, and gave him this incredible portrait. I'm going to do a zoom here. I hadn't planned to do a whole lot of zooming in these because you can check out all of these. What just happened? You can check out all of these reviews, but look at that. Putting Two-Face to shame. This guy has seen some hard times, Daddy. Just an absolutely incredible work of toy art. I'm delighted to have it, and this is the kind of stuff that makes Classified stand out as one of the greatest toy lines of all time. Look at that. Look at the gloss on the visor, the stylized Cobra emblem on his helmet. This is just an incredible figure, one of the best of the year. And look, I probably could have made a list of 10 Classified figures because they were that good, but I try to vary things up a little bit. When I do my top 10, I want to do 10 different things. And if you want to hear more about G.I. Joe Classified in 2023, check out the newest episode of Audible Interlude, a G.I. Joe podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts. We do a year-end wrap-up, and we had a lot of fun kind of revisiting the figures and taking a look back at them. Number 7, Saurozoic Warriors Triax Skyver by Boss Fight Studio. This one, like, I knew these were coming, but this kind of came out of nowhere because I believe it was delivered more quickly than I expected. Obviously, purple and green. Like, here's a little tip for the toy manufacturers that I know super care a whole lot about my top 10. A good way to get your figure into my top 10 is to make it purple and green. But this is a phenomenal figure. This is another, darn you, all of you new toy lines out there, that I get one and then I'm like, well, I need the whole line. And that's the case here. Obviously, this is a spiritual successor to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But if you look, just the detailing, everything here, this is a fantastic figure. Look at his jaw. Look at that. Look at that jaw articulation. It's wonderful. The colors are vibrant. He pops on the shelf. He's up with my Mad Balls at the moment, the Premium DNA Mad Balls, which I was hoping the second wave would be here before the end of the year, but they're coming. But just everything about this guy, I absolutely love. The aesthetics. Personally, I wish he had a tail, but that doesn't have any effect whatsoever on how good the figure is, because in this aesthetic, this character, these species don't have tails. That's like me imposing my own what I wanted on the figure, which really shouldn't have anything to do with the figure. And I'm sure it's a cost thing, and it's a smart move, because if you start adding tails to all these, they go far beyond the price. And I cannot remember off the top of my head how much these were. They were very, very, very reasonably priced. I was shocked at the price on them. Go check them out at bossfightstudio.com or Big Bad Toy Store, just wherever. But I mean, these are all, I think there are about 8 different figures available right now, somewhere around there. And they all look fantastic, and I want more. The articulation is exactly what I like. Great figure. Full review. As with all of these, the full review is available on Needless Things YouTube channel right here. Number 6, from Mezco's 112 Collective, and this was difficult for me because I loved the Destro that they put out this year. But again, I kind of am trying to stick to a little something different for each one. And this Conan just blew my mind. Again, you can go check out my unboxing video. But this Conan the Conqueror, it comes with 3 times as many accessories as what you see right here. The detail on it is just unbelievable. We'll do a little zoom again here. That's annoying. Okay, there we go. look at the color, the way it's handled on the cape, these burns or damage or whatever. Just every bit of this figure is insanely detailed, highly articulated. Uh, if I only had one Conan figure, this would be the Conan figure. Look at these soft goods, like the scale of the soft goods that Mezco produces in this 112 line is just nuts. I mean, it really is. Uh, this this is like an all-time award winner action figure. But the only reason it's not higher up is because Mezco's stuff is so complex and there's so much to it that as much fun as I have, every once in a while I'll take them down. I don't know what happened to my Zoom here. Um, every once in a while I'll take them down, I'll dust, I'll rework their accessories, I'll repose them, I'll do whatever. But they're so involved. I need a figure to be more pick up and play than Mezco's stuff is. That's just how I am. So and again, personal opinion, but that's that's I have to acknowledge this figure and how incredible it is. And again, there's so many more accessories than what you're seeing here. Go check out my review. But yeah, I have to acknowledge it. But it's not higher on the list because there's too much to it. Number 5. And I'm sure on a lot of people's top 10 lists, probably topping a number of top 10 lists, the Ultimate Dungeons and Dragons War Duke by NECA. I mean, again, this is another all-time great figure. Everyone had that original War Duke figure when we were kids. We all had it. And NECA has just taken things and run with it. It's gorgeous. All of the articulation works very, very well. It's all tight, but movable. This figure has been standing on a shelf for almost a year now. This is one of the first figures I reviewed this year. This was the first figure. I reminded myself as 2023 went on to keep a running list of possible top 10s. This is the first figure I put on the list at the beginning of the year, and I knew it would make the list because I just knew there wasn't much that was going to be able to top this. It's incredible. Everything about it works the way it's supposed to work. This is the height of action figure creation. Certainly one of the best figures NECA has ever produced. But I will say this again, personal feelings come into play in my top 10. So this is not the last NECA figure you're going to see on this list. But it is one of the all-time greats. And if you don't have this, get it. If you're a toy collector, you have to have this figure. Number 4, coming in right at the end of the year, just in time. And look, I'm not going to lie. There might be some biases involved with this being as high as it is on the list. This is Super 7's Universal Monsters Super Cyborg Creature from the Black Lagoon. It's noteworthy that it is the full color version by its official description. I didn't know this was going to hit this year. My wife got it for me. The full review has not even been posted on the Needless Things YouTube channel yet. It will go up next year. But I just knew I wanted to get it in here because I have been lusting over this figure ever since Super 7 first announced it. If you don't know, it is an X-ray figure with removable parts to reveal the creature's ghastly innards. I mean, if this isn't an incredible vintage style toy, I don't know what is. I adore this kind of thing. The creature from the Black Lagoon is my favorite monster of all time, and this is the kind of thing that Super 7 does, that it's what they do best, and nobody can do it as well as they do. Uh, I love this figure. Yeah, there might be a little recency bias, there might be a little Gillman bias, but here it is at number 4 on my list. And I don't think at any point I'll look back and regret putting it on there. So full review coming in just a couple of weeks here. Number 3, and we are getting into really difficult territory now where these last 3 figures, any one of them could have been the best. But this Raven from Zombie Sailor Toys, official Wrestling's Heels and Faces retro line. Now, obviously, this is meant to be styled like a 1990 Hasbro WWF figure, but updated, like modern detail, modern execution, but that style of figure, and it's perfection. It's one of the best figures that, well, ever. One of the best that came out this year. I mean, look, it could be number 1. If I made this list a different day, it might be. Please check out the full review. It went up just early yesterday. I think it went up yesterday, actually. My review order has been jacked up here at the end of the year in trying to get everything done. But this is a licensed ministry shirt. He's got all his tattoos. Check out the full review. You'll see everything. But I ordered one of these to keep mint on the card because I want to get my dream goal is to get it signed by Raven, Al Jurgensen, and Ron Rudat. And at some point, maybe Zombie Sailor, but I don't think he comes south all that often. And once I got it, I had to buy another. It's a very expensive figure, I'm not going to lie. I had to get another one to open because I couldn't stop looking at it. So this is an incredible figure. It does have, more articulation than your Hasbros have. Zombie really went the extra mile with this one, and it shows. It's a landmark figure from an incredible line of, yes, works of art. Number 2, Yo Joe. This is Super 7's G.I. Joe Ultimates Duke. It is the Duke figure I've wanted my whole life. Now, maybe not necessarily the scale. I'm not going to lie. I don't think I ever imagined. I said when Classified came along that I had zero interest in 6-inch G.I. Joe figures. And to be honest, I don't need them to ever make another one, but I would need something to replace Classified because I want to collect G.I. Joe. This Sunbow Accurate Duke is from the Sunbow rifle to the colors, to the profile, to the aesthetics, everything about it. It's just an absolutely incredible action figure. And I didn't know how much I wanted Sunbow Accurate figures until this wave came in and I had him in hand. He comes with tons more accessories than what you see here, but this is, the cartoon look. This is how I wanted to have him on the shelf. Just perfectly executed. I mean, it really, really is. As I said, when Super 7 gets what they do right, or when Super 7 gets what they do well right, it's the best. And this is one of the best. As I said, any of these last 3 could have been swapped around, and it still would have been a valid list in my opinion. This is available for like as low as $11 over the past month. So get yourself one of the best figures of all time for sure. It's great. And here it is, the number 1 best action figure of 2023, in my opinion. Drum roll, please. From NECA's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mirage Comics collection, this is the insane Triceraton Zog. And this is one of my all-time favorite action figures. I love this character in the original Ninja Turtles comics. 2 Triceratops on the list this year. I just realized. This figure is perfection. All the articulation is just perfect. He's got he's incredible. He's giant. He's huge. He's bulky. He stands perfectly. Obviously, he's got a tail that helps with that. But just all of the sculpted detail is... It looks like it's straight out of the comics. He's got an articulated tongue, an articulated jaw that closes. This is a breathtaking action figure. It is a triumph of sculpt, of design, of engineering. Everything about it is perfection. When I was a kid reading those original Mirage comics, I never could have imagined that I would have this masterpiece in my hand. I had, the original Playmates Triceraton figure that I kind of altered up a little bit to look as much like Zog as I could manage. But this is the best, in my opinion, the best figure of 2023. The most successful execution of a character. This is top shelf, front row in my NECA Ninja Turtles section. I can't imagine anything moving this. And this Mirage Comics line is incredible. But this is it. This is the number one. This is the best. Everything else, and I said the top three could have been interchangeable, but having this guy in hand with the heft and just how magnificent it is, I was wrong. Nothing could top this figure. Nothing comes even close. This is, as I said, this is a masterpiece. And look, that Raven and that Duke, they're both great. And those two could have swapped places probably. But this Zog, this is it. This is the best. Again, if you're a fan of toys, if you're a toy collector, if you love action figures, just buy this figure. Or don't, because then you're going to want to buy more of the Mirage figures, and they're all excellent. So there you go. There is the number one action figure of 2023, according to me and Needless Things. So that was the top 10, my top 10, Dave, aka Phantom Troublemaker, aka Needless Things. That's my top 10. Tell me, what's your top 10? Leave it in the comments. Let everybody know. Let's share our love of toys. That's what this is all about. Tag me on Instagram. I'll share your top 10, whatever. Needless Things channel on Instagram. Audible Interlude Podcast on Instagram. We've got a live stream coming up on Monday, and we'd love for you to be there and be part of it. Big news coming out of that one. But this has been a lot of fun. This whole year has been a lot of fun. Thank you, everyone who has subscribed, who has liked, who has commented. Even if you leave an idiot comment, thank you for that engagement. I appreciate it. Every single comment, no matter how complimentary or insightful or helpful or just dumb, is appreciated. So leave it all. It's all engagement. It's all great. Thank you so much for an incredible 2023. 2024 is just a couple days away, and I've already got the first 2 weeks of the year scheduled, good to go. There's so much exciting stuff coming your way, and it's all going to happen right here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Thank you so much, and until next time, thank you.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.